What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wise Words with Gootecks and Mike Ross. Today we have a question about fashion.
Okay.
Lance, Ransu_X says, bunch of my coworkers always ask me for advice. Most of the time, I know what to say. That's why they come to me for advice, because I know what to say. But one topic that I've never been too knowledgeable about is fashion. What wise words do you have for guys that are trying to meet women, but are always going out dressed in shirts with obscure anime character faces on them? What should they look for when they're trying out new clothes? And what styles complement each other? How do you feel about that, Mike? I feel like that question really hits, I mean, it doesn't hit home. Yeah. But it hits some nerves. It strikes some nerves in you, Mike.
It strikes nerves. It does. It definitely does strike nerves with me because it's the concept that it's the shirts that are
everything else was fine.
Yeah, like
if only I didn't wear this anime character face on my shirt.
Correct.
Then
I'd be
I would have swimming in pussy.
Yeah, correct. Well, I mean, I don't know if this is just general fashion tips. I mean, I'm obviously not the fashion guru.
I mean, we're wearing shirts with our fucking faces on.
This is like as anime as it gets. So, here we are with obscure anime characters on our shirts right now, answering fashion advice. Well, we're not the two. I mean,
oh my god.
So like,
Mike, we're trying to sell the shirts. You got the wrong anime characters' faces on your shirts.
All right. Well,
what you really need.
Yeah, you know, that's done. Thank you. This has been an episode of Wise Words. I mean, you know, I think. See, I always look at it from this. Well, if she's not going to talk to you for that shirt you're wearing, then that's not the girl you need to be talking to, anyways.
Okay.
That's the approach I'm going to always take. I mean, you know, if you dig in the archives, you can find that I've worn some pretty outlandish outfits in the past, and that still, The
internet never forgets, Mike.
The internet never forgets, and you know, during those times, I think that was a little worse than anime characters on our shirt, but that never, ever stopped, you know, anything, you know.
Okay, so for the uninitiated, Mike, do you want to catch them up, or should I tell them? Should I tell them?
Go ahead, text.
You should tell them.
Okay, all right.
You tell. Well, I wasn't even there.
All right, so I'll summarize. Actually, I don't even think we've ever even talked about it before.
This is why it's important.
Me and a group of buddies, oh God, this was over 10 years ago. We got fed up with the current culture norms of fashion. There were people that were, you know, in hip hop, it was very popular to wear throwback jerseys. And they were wearing like retro jerseys, and they were paying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for these things to be cool. And we said, there's nothing cool about that. If you want to throw it back, we'll show you how to do it. So then we actually, a lot of us, it was 4 of us, we threw out almost all of our clothes.
And wait, you actually threw out your clothes?
Had to make room for the new ones. Like it was a gradual process.
Oh, okay.
It was a gradual process.
Okay.
You know, because we're like, dang, we started buying more of the 80s stuff because we were getting it for like $2 for pants, $1.50 for shirts.
At like the thrift store.
Of course. You know, before there was a Macklemore song about it, right? Obviously, right? Whatever. Okay, anyways. And yeah, so I mean, but that was our wardrobe, but it actually only brought more attention from the opposite gender.
Wait, so, okay, just so I'm on this, just so we're all on the same page. Mike Ross of 10 years ago was wearing normal clothes, and then there was a slow transition from normal clothes to 80s?
Yes.
Clothes.
Yes.
And then eventually, and it wasn't just you.
It wasn't just me.
4 of you guys.
Yes.
And your closets gradually transitioned from modern day contemporary fashion to 80s retro fashion.
Went to school like that, went everywhere like that.
The 4 of you guys.
Yes.
Walking together.
No.
Separately.
Yeah, we had to divide and conquer. Like somebody would be at LA, Fullerton, Sac. You know what I'm saying? We had to divide and conquer. But then when we went out later at night, it's obviously we're all hanging out because we grew up in the same area. So it's kind of crazy.
Okay, so when you guys were there at night, the four of you guys are wearing literally the complete opposite.
The worst possible thing.
Just, what about haircuts though?
Oh, so we had to match them eventually. Like, I don't think there's footage out, but I mean, we ended up having to complete the full ensemble. Like,
so we're talking like
yes,
kid and play.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, we're kind of getting off topic here. Okay?
No, I know. I just want to make sure that we paint the picture properly for the people.
Okay, so even then, what you're wearing is not the issue. If you're about trying to get the girls, was that what he was asking? Was it about was the t-shirt the problem? Is that what he was asking, or is he just asking?
I mean, he's asking like, I think what he's really asking is, what role does fashion play in meeting women or talking with girls?
Oh, well then I guess and along with that, I guess fashion is a huge part. You just gotta, whatever you rock, you just gotta rock it with the most confidence in the world. So if you got an anime waifu on your shirt, you better rock it like, I don't know, with just the utmost confidence. That's all you need.
So what you're saying is that it didn't matter that you weren't wearing like modern day fashionable clothes. And in fact, what worked was that you guys were rocking something.
Yes.
And but you were rocking it so hard that that became appealing in and of itself. So it didn't matter. It could have, you guys, who knows, maybe now if the modern, I mean, who knows, maybe you could do it now with anime character faces on your shirts and still rock it as hard.
So I should do it, so they should do that, or are you saying I should do that?
I'm saying, I don't know, maybe that could be possible.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think just generic fashion, I mean, that's my take on the question. I don't, as for fashion advice, obviously, I use the 80s as a sense of, I am not the person to ask for fashion tips.
I think that is the best fashion tip of all, Mike. That it didn't matter that something was in or out of fashion. What mattered was that the man inside made it and rocked it. And that was what was appealing, because I'm sure, like, I mean, it's basically assumed that like chicks were into it.
It was kind of interesting. I mean, it was just like, like I said, I'm not gonna say I acted upon anything because, 30, I'm in my late 30s, almost early 40s now, still a virgin, purity. but like I just remember, like we rocked it, we would go places, like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing later? We're totally having a party, you guys should totally come. Like, it was like that. And we were just looking like, huh? What? Just because of our clothes? So yeah, it's the confidence. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. Walk with that confidence.
So, okay. I would say that there's definitely a lot to be said for the confidence. There are also fashion choices that you can make that do not help your cause.
Okay, yes, I agree.
Imagine, though, for a second, that someone was, an athlete or like a bodybuilder or like super fucking ripped or something. Yeah. Now, if you put the anime character face on his t-shirt, does he still get looks from the women?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yes.
Why?
His physical prowess.
It doesn't matter that there's an anime character face on the shirt. What matters is the guy underneath that shirt. So I think it's less about the specifics of what you're wearing and more about who you are as a person. And that's really where people kind of get lost. But I think that fashion is like a really good place to start.
Yeah.
Because learning how to properly dress and present yourself is a skill that some people neglect and other people get good results from.
And actually, one other thing too is something that I actually think a lot of people overlook. A lot of people don't do. Like people that are just wearing anime T-shirts, perhaps whoever this person might be.
Wall scroll enthusiasts.
Yes, yes, exactly. Is to actually get outside, go to like a clothing store, and actually try stuff on and look at yourself in the mirror. I think a lot of people overlook that and don't even go that far. They just know what shirt size fits them and they'll buy it and then that's it.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, there's definitely an element of feeling uncomfortable at a clothing store. I mean, for the longest time, I was not somebody who cared at all about fashion. And so when I would go into a clothing store, I would feel very uncomfortable or not at ease. Like, how do I try this on? Or who do I talk to? Or what the fuck am I? What do I do?
Yeah.
And there's definitely still an element of that. But one way that you can avoid that is to just shop online. With modern day
stuff on, I gotta see it. I'm too scared to do online.
That's because you like looking at yourself in the mirror, Mike. Some other people may not have the courage to go out there in person and like try on a bunch of shit. But with modern day shipping, return policies and whatever, you could definitely buy a bunch of stuff and return the stuff that doesn't work. But for me, the biggest, what really made me start to understand fashion and how it could work for me was the idea of, instead of trying to get yourself a new wardrobe, which is like the polar opposite of what you should be doing, instead you need to pick up one new piece regularly. So instead of trying to like drop like obscene amounts of money on buying a bunch of new shit. You just buy one piece at a time so that what you're wearing, your wardrobe is constantly evolving.
I like that.
Because if you bought a bunch of stuff all at once, then it's gonna like kind of get old or stale at the same time, and then you're in the same position. So I recommend, and this is, people might say like, oh, well, that's great if you have money to spend on clothes. But like you said, with thrift stores and stuff, like
$1.50, $2.
Hey,
no problem. Rocking it, no problem.
Exactly. So if you
can find good stuff. Like I'm straight up, you can find heat. That's what we always look for. We went there looking for heat.
Absolutely. And there's so many nice items that you can find at thrift stores and places like Buffalo Exchange and Crossroads and whatever. Used clothing stores, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It's just like the constant process. In the same way that you're like trying to get better at Street Fighter, or you're trying to get better in school or whatever it is that you're into, fashion is like the constant process. And then what you find is that you start to develop a style, and then you'll find that the stuff that you're buying fits well with the stuff that you already had, because it's like a constant ever changing process. So
it works for me.
All right. Well, guys,
take it or leave it.
Send us your photos.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to see, want to see some before and after photos.
That's right. Yeah, send us your, after you guys take, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Send us your fashion photos.
Yeah, you could send us some photos and then we could critique.
Yeah. I'll take some of those photos into my personal dark room.
Like, what was that? That was that Robin Williams film, right?
1 hour photo.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think it was called
where
1
he was
hour
like a
photo.
fucking crazy guy with it. Yeah. That movie was crazy.
That was crazy. I think we're the only two that watched it.
And Steve, I'm sure Steve saw it.
Steve?
Yeah,
are you
Steve
serious?
Yeah,
oh my
course.
gosh, Steve watched it.
Of course, classic.
Of course, these three dumbasses would watch that one. Great film.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.